Hello. Looks like I'm frozen already. That's great. So anyway, we are going to be talking about graphing from slope-intercept form this whole week. So the first thing we're going to learn how to do, this video is going to help with questions 1 through 5 on your assignment. We are going to learn how to just identify the slope and the y-intercept when we're given an equation in slope-intercept form. Now it's kind of cool that it's called slope-intercept form because literally it's like that's how it's listed. You have a y, you have an x, and then slope followed by intercept. So slope, as we've talked about in past weeks, is represented by the letter m, and then our y-intercept is off here on the end. That is represented by the letter b. So slope m, y-intercept b. Now you'll remember the y-intercept is like where it intercepts the y-axis, and slope is just like how the line is going, which way it's going, how steep it is, everything like that. So it's important to note slope is always going to be the number, the coefficient in front of the x, the number in front of the x. The y-intercept is going to be just the constant term because it doesn't change. It's constant. It's the one all by itself. So let's jump in. All right, so here we are. We have this equation here in slope-intercept form, right? Y equals mx plus b. You should always have y as a variable at this, like when you're graphing it, x as a variable, not a number, right? So slope, let's take a look at slope represented by m. Again, it's the coefficient, the number in front of the x. So you have right here, that would be our m, okay? And then our y-intercept over here is whatever constant is like off by itself with no variable. So that would be our y-intercept. So y equals mx plus b. So when you're actually answering your questions, you would say, okay, my slope. Well, my slope is not 5 over 3. Don't lose your signs. My slope is negative 5 over 3. My y-intercept. A lot of you are going to want to put 1. It's not 1. It's negative 1. Be careful. Don't lose your signs. And I can't stress it enough. Y-intercept doesn't mean the y over here. Your y-intercept is that number off to the end. We'll talk about that more when we really start graphing things. So here we go. Y equals mx plus b. Okay, so my m, or my slope, is just, again, that coefficient in front of the x. My y-intercept, which represented by b, is negative 3 here. Now, I know a lot of you are like, why? This is confusing. The formula is y equals mx plus b. Why am I throwing that negative there? Because it's part of, it is definitely part of that number, right? It would be, if you wanted to get technical, it would be plus negative 3 if you wanted to run back to keep change or whatever, but you are writing, do not lose the sign. Stop. All right, so now we have this weird thing. There's no plus b. And what do? First, start with what you do know, right? My slope is the thing in front of the x, negative 1/2. Okay. And my b, what can you add to stuff without changing it? What could I add to this without changing it? What amount of money could I give you without changing how much you got? Like literally nothing. Okay, so my y-intercept here would be nothing. All right, so y equals x plus 5. So my slope is the coefficient of x. So something should be there, but it's not. And a lot of you guys have like learned like that you could just stick a 1. You can, but it's also important to realize you can stick the 1 there because what can you multiply stuff by and not change it? 1, right? 6 times 1 is 6. 10 times 1 is 10. Okay, a lot of students are tempted to put 0 because there's nothing there, but that's not how it works, because 0 times something zeroes it out, right? So your slope here is 1, 1, y-intercept is 5.